Please state your name, sir.
Yeah, my name is Willie Ralph Caldwell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we're here for sentencing today. There's been an updated report. Did you have an opportunity to review that court report with your client, Mr. Shand?
Yes, I did.
Any additions, deletions, or corrections?
It is factually correct, and we think the recommendation is very fair.
All right. Ms. McDuff?
Your Honor, I agree. It's disheartening to know that Mr. Caldwell had just completed a treatment and then tested positive for two substances, I believe, alcohol and cocaine, days later. But I saw him get arraigned on that warrant, and he repeatedly said he needs more treatment, and I agree. So whatever's available to him to receive, I hope that he gets that. That's all from the people.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Shand, before I go to your client?
Yeah, I will work from my end to see. I think he's going to need 90 days inpatient residential treatment. I'd love to get him into Dawn Farm. I've got two people that in the Dawn Farm jail program that can help in that way as well. So we'll see what we can do. I do know that his parole agent has a parole hold on him as well. So I will, I'll talk to Ms. Bennett and see if she can go along with the recommendation from the court that if he is released to inpatient residential treatment, that she'll release the parole hold, because unless that's released, he can't go. So, but I think it's exactly right, and I think Rachel's exactly right, and I thought the recommendation was really good. Yeah, I get it. I mean, if anybody, I get it. I mean, my last child custody hearing with my second ex-wife, the only issue was my drinking, and I showed up to court at 8:30 in the morning and I was drunk. So I get it.
Gotcha. Mr. Caldwell, good morning,
Yes.
sir. What would you like to say?
Good morning. What do you say?
What would you like to say, sir?
I mean, there's no excuse. I had death in the family, and I agree with everything that's been recommended. I need to go to treatment, and I need to be associated in a recovering community, like maybe something like sober living, continuing on. And I want to get my life together. I'm upsetting my family, and I totally agree.
Well, Mr. Caldwell, I think that one of the important things this morning is recognizing it yourself. And it sounds like you are there at least. And it's a disease. You need help with it. Accept the help and work really hard, because every day you're going to have to do that. You got to commit to it every day. So I'm going to follow the recommendation. It is the sentence of the court that you serve 365 days in Washtenaw County Jail. Credit for the 27 you've served. The 338 days need to be served. You need to complete a new substance use assessment, and then if you are approved, you can be released to an inpatient treatment program with a GPS tether. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Annette. You did a great job. That was a really fair recommendation.
And I will send an email to Ms. Bennett to let her know what was the sentence today as well.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you.
Good morning, LaTanya Smith.
Good morning, Ms. Smith. All right. We're here on a violation of violation of bond. I think the last bond violation that we were referring to was from February 11th of 2024, when there was a reading of 0.028, and then apparently on March 1st, they considered you having absconded from the sober link, but I know that as of March 8th, at least, you were in home and new vision. But it's the interim time period that we did not receive testing. I believe that the magistrate arraigned you on that back on March 12th. Is that correct, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. White, where are we now with this? What would you like to do? I know she is in residential again, home and division.
That is correct. As to the not testing, Ms. Smith does want to admit that she was not testing, did not test during that period. Is that correct, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
And
What
Your
about-
Honor, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I see that we last saw Ms. Smith on January the 31st, and she was arraigned at all the violations at that point. So we have, I think, at least two positives. I think that might also include the February 3rd, in addition to the 11th.
February 3rd event?
Yes.
I think she's been seen since then.
We saw her on February 5th. She only admitted to January 16th, is what my notes indicated.
Yeah, we didn't have that report yet.
Whoa. She only admitted to January 16th. Actually, my notes must not be right because I don't even see a January 16th in here. Oh, that's the date of the, wait a second. That's the report date, January 16th. Not the event date. All right, so January 16th report took us through events on January the 12th. So she admitted through everything through January the 12th, which meant that she hasn't reported, she hasn't admitted to January the 20th or February 3rd or February 11th, and then just the failing to test after that. So that is really what she needs to plead to or have a hearing on. So on January 12th, ma'am, it indicates you had a BAC of 0.047, and then you kept testing until it reached 0.013. I don't see it ever really going back to. No, I said she did the 12th. It's the 20th. Okay, so on January 20th, excuse me, this is what you're being alleged to have violated. January 20th, a BAC of 0.041, and you didn't retest, and then you didn't retest, and then you got down to a 0.015. And then I'm going to skip over the January 23rd and January 30th stuff. She didn't test at all those days. Well, she didn't test on January 30th at all. But I'm going to request that there be an admission to the February 3rd BAC of 0.102, and then we got down to a 0.039. That's as low as we get on that date. And then February 11th, a 0.028, and then she got down to a 0.016. And then she just failed to test. Beginning on February 22nd. From then on, she just stopped testing. So out of all of those, what is she planning to admit to, Ms. White? Or do you need more time to talk to her?
Ms. Smith, are you admitting to those violations, or do you want to talk to me some more? She's shaking her head yes. Is that yes, you're admitting to those violations?
Yes, but the ones from the February, because
you have to say yes or no, or you and I can go into a breakout room and talk.
We can go in a breakout room.
Rachel McDuffie for People.
Assistant Public Defender Sandra White on behalf of LaTanya Smith.
Thank you.
This is LaTanya Smith.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. All right, Ms. White, where are we with this, please?
She would like to admit to the violations with explanation.
Thank you. Ms. Smith, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may lower your hand.
Can you repeat that?
I said you can lower your hand. That's all I said so far. All right, Ms. Smith, it's my understanding that you're going to admit to the violation from the positive test on January the 20th, February 3rd, and then just you stopped testing. Oh, February 11th, and then you stopped testing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I find that there's a factual basis for the plea has been willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied, Ms. McDuffie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, satisfied, Your Honor.
All right. So where do we go from here, I guess is the question.
Well, Your Honor, as to the not testing, Ms. Smith lost her backpack, which contained the SoberLink and other personal belongings. She did try to report it to the police, but they told her that she would have to come in personally, and she wasn't able to do that. She did report it to probation that she did lose the SoberLink. As for the positive testing, she did check herself into home of New Vision. I know part of the recommendation was to check herself, maybe do transitional housing, which she can't afford with her current rent. She does ask the court to allow her to continue to test with the SoberLink if she gets out, and to allow her to do continue outpatient treatment after home of New Vision. She has changed her therapist to a trauma therapist and changed sponsors. She wants the court to know she is the only caregiver for her daughter. At the moment, school counselors are helping to care for her daughter. And she is on a new course of treatment with home of New Vision.
Ms. McDuffie.
I don't know what I mean, I'm not equipped to know what Ms. Smith needs, but I'm almost afraid for her at this point because she's been in and out of treatment. She was, I understand Ms. White just said that she has some new things. She has a new course of treatment, a new sponsor, a different therapist. I don't know what's going on with her. All these other factors around her are changing, and I hope that a breakthrough is imminent because these violations go back so far to, almost a full year ago. Looking at last May or so, positive alcohol tests, just last summer, last May, June. I just don't know what the disconnect is where something's not getting through because there hasn't even really been a pause. I don't know that we've had even a solid window of some sort of sobriety for maybe a few months or so. So I'm just really worried about Ms. Smith. I don't know if she's been assessed recently and if outpatient is still where she is in terms of what she needs, but I hope that she
she's in home of New Vision inpatient right now.
Oh, she's an inpatient now. Okay, good. So yeah, I defer to the court, but I am really afraid for Ms. Smith at this point.
I think my concern is I don't think she fully understands the magnitude of the problem right now. Not being able to afford transitional housing compared to where she's going to be is not understanding the magnitude of the problem. Ms. McDuffie is correct. We've had so many violations, I can't even keep track of them. I do not see how she can do anything other than be in transitional housing at this point. I mean, we're still at the let's see, what stage are we at? We're at the VOPs. I don't see how we get around transitional housing. So I think you need to continue to talk to your client and come back with a plan for how she's going to make that work.
Her problem, I'm sorry, go ahead.
She can do transitional housing, or she can spend some time in jail.
Can we adjourn so that maybe Ms. Smith can look into that?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I'll bring you back here. I think, let's see, she's supposed to get out.
It's April 4th is her last day for residential, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll see her on April 1st. April 1st, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. All right, we're back on the record in the case of the state of Michigan versus Victor Frost. Mr. Frost, it's my understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty as charged to the charge of domestic violence. That is a misdemeanor. It carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days and or up to $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
Understanding that, sir, is that what you want to do? Plead guilty as charged with
I was told that I could. I'm sorry, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I only have $215 on my card right now, and I only make $1,006 on a month.
Sir, as far
I'm
as
sorry.
the potential penalty and the fines and costs, you can set up a payment plan, but maybe you need to speak with your attorney so you can
Set up,
understand what's going on.
set up a payment plan.
Okay.
I didn't understand that I had that option.
Okay. So you are going to plead guilty today? You would be pleading guilty to a criminal charge.
Yes,
You
I
understand?
plead guilty.
All right. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide, sir, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. All right. I'm going to go over some rights that you have that you're going to be giving up, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Right to have a trial by a jury, sir.
All right. Can I say something? My legs are in serious pain, and I can't sit like this for a long time. I have neuropathy, severe neuropathy, and it's really bad. I'm sorry.
Do you need to stand while I go over your rights with you?
I have to be in a lay down position, and just you could continue, please. I'll try to bear.
Right. You have the right to have a trial by a jury, at which time you can call witnesses to speak for you. You can get an order signed by this court to require those witnesses come to court. You have the right to see, hear, and question any and all witnesses that are called against you, and you have the right to be a witness for yourself, or you could choose to remain silent. If you did choose to remain silent, the prosecutor could not comment on that. And in addition to that, you have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those rights, sir?
Does that mean I have to go to trial?
No, it means that if you want to go to trial, those are the rights that you have.
Trial.
And no, but do you understand you have those rights?
Yes, I do.
And you
I'm
understand?
sorry, I'm not smart as cookie on the block.
That's okay, but you understand you're going to be giving up all those rights, and
Yes,
you're not going to be having a trial?
Yes.
All right. And there's no automatic right to appeal this decision. So the decision you're making today, in all likelihood, is going to stick with you. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And do you also understand that if you were on probation, parole, or bond on May 19th, 2023, this could be a violation of that. Were you on those? Any of those?
And what you're talking about.
Were you on probation, parole, or bond, sir?
If I am on it or
were you on May 19th, sir?
No.
Okay. All right.
And
that's okay.
Very well, because I don't hear well out of my right ear.
All right. I'll try to speak up. Okay.
Okay.
And my last question is, if you are not a U.S. citizen, you could have immigration consequences. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
All right. So to the charge of domestic violence, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Has anyone promised you anything other than what we put on the record today?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone threatened you to make you do this, sir?
No.
Okay, so on May 19th, 2023, were you at 909 Maplewood Ave here in Ypsilanti Township, sir?
At that time,
Yes.
no.
You
I
were,
was not at home at that time. Are you talking about when I attacked my wife?
yes.
No, I was not at home.
What was the address that you were at when the attack happened?
Don't know the address, but I can tell you the streets.
Okay, what were those?
Lincoln and Michigan, East Michigan Avenue. There's a gas station. There's a gas station going towards downtown Ypsilanti, and behind me there's what used to be a school.
All right, Miss McDuffie.
And across the street there was a Family Dollar.
All right, 1 second, please, sir. Miss McDuffie. He's indicating it didn't happen at 909 Maplewood.
I never did.
I believe they were walking home, Your Honor.
No, I never went home.
No, but you were walking home when it happened.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. I wasn't.
Okay.
Walking home,
All right, 1 second, Mr. Frost, please.
I wasn't walking home.
Mr. Frost, please stop talking, okay?
Your Honor, the description in the police report mentions that they were walking down the road. The address that the officers listed was their home address. So I am not, I'm actually not clear if Mr. Frost is representing that that it did not happen in the township, how far away they were from I'm not really sure what the location was that he listed. But that's what we have. It's not on that.
I think he's indicating that they were walking down the road.
He says he wasn't walking home. They were walking down the road, but I don't know how close he was to that location.
We were walking away from Lucas's, and I was trying to convince my wife not to I can't even think straight.
Mr. Frost, where were you walking to? Were you walking home?
We're walking toward downtown Ypsilanti.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I cannot say whether this address he's referring to is in Ypsilanti Township or not.
It's in Ypsilanti Township because Ypsilanti proper doesn't start until before you get downtown Ypsilanti.
If I can ask this, Your Honor, Mr. Frost got really specific earlier, and he talked about a gas station and some cross streets. If I could ask him to convey that information to his attorney, if we could pass this, I'll look it up, see if it's within our jurisdiction, and if so, we can maybe amend the complaint on the record and proceed. If I can verify it is indeed Ypsilanti Township.
Thank you. I can pass it, Mr. Frost. I don't know if you have a phone or a computer.
I do.
Where you can go and get in bed until we get this resolved, because it's going to take a minute for us to look this up before I recall the case.
Not at my house.
Okay. Well, all right. Then I guess you'll have to sit there for a minute until we can figure that out.
I'll be okay. I mean.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I will recall it in a moment. All right. The court will recall the case of the state of Michigan versus Victor Frost, case number 23-00355.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Sandra White on behalf of Victor Frost.
Mr. Frost, if you could unmute and state your name again, please, sir.
Victor Harold Frost.
Thank you. All right, Ms. McDuffie, did you have a chance to look up those addresses?
I did, Your Honor, and I was also able to thank you to the court for getting that information, and I was able to actually listen to a little bit of the live stream too. I do see that on East Michigan Avenue and Lincoln Street, just like he said, there is a Family Dollar, there is a gas station, and there is a former school, exactly as Mr. Frost described, and this is in Ypsilanti Township in this area, so I don't think we have a problem with jurisdiction.
All right, thank you so much. All right, now that we cleared up the jurisdictional issue, Mr. Frost, first of all, you're still under oath, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, miss.
All right. Do you acknowledge that at that time and place that you indicated earlier, you assaulted and or battered a Miss Julie Frost?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do to Miss Frost?
I hit her with an umbrella.
All right. And she didn't give you permission to do that, right?
Oh, she didn't.
And that was your wife?
That was my wife.
All right. I find that there's a factual basis for the plea has been willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied, Ms. McDuffie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied.
All right. Sentencing in this case will be on April the 15th, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m., sir. Did you write down the phone number earlier when I gave it out?
He did. My friend did.
All right, good. Thank you.
It's what's this appearance that I'm supposed to have, or a phone call, or what?
Yeah, you need to call them tomorrow after 9 o'clock and they'll schedule an appointment with you.
Who am I supposed to call?
The probation department.
Okay. I just want to make that clear. I thought that's why, but I have to make that clear. Thank you very much.
And call them after 9 o'clock tomorrow and they'll schedule a time for your next appointment with them. And then you come back here for sentencing, okay?
For what?
For sentencing.
I have remember we discussed this? Give me a call and we'll discuss this again, okay?
Your name is?
Sandra White.
Oh, I have your phone. Okay, when do you want me to call you?
I'll give you a call this afternoon.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Frost. All right. I believe that at this point, we are going to get prepared for our in-person hearing. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Yes. And so,
people.
Assistant Public Defender Donovan Lieb on behalf of Mr. Weissel. Mr. Weissel, could you state your name, please?
You have to unmute, sir.
There we go. How about that? Kenneth Allen Weissel.
Thank you, Mr. Weissel. All right. Mr. Weissel, I need to arraign you on a probation violation today. The probation violation, which is an amended violation, indicates that you violated the no contact condition of probation on October 1st, 2023. That's with Washington County Sheriff's Report number 23-79941, and that you had a BAC of 0.186. You failed to notify the probation agent of police contact on October the 1st of 2023, and you tested positive for ETG on March 11th, 2024. You have a right to have a hearing in these matters, at which time, if it is found that you violated the terms of your probation, then you could be subjected to the original maximum penalties in this case. Mr. Lebo, have you had a chance to talk to your client about these violations, allegations?
I have, Your Honor. Mr. Weissel is prepared to plead to the drinking event in October, as well as failing to report the police contact. With regard to the more recent ETG, he has told me that he has sent that out for a confirmation test and is not prepared to enter a plea as to that at this time.
And what about this police report? What is the status of that? Do we know, Ms. McDuffie?
One moment, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It looks like we just got the warrant request in on March 7th. And I see that some media just arrived at our office today, this morning. I'm just waiting for the form to come up because that will tell me if that means that somebody has already authorized it or somebody was requesting that for further information to be able to authorize it.
Thank you.
Looks like it has been authorized as of 8:43 this morning. So those charges will be forthcoming. It looks like it is an OWI third offense notice, so that would be a felony.
Thank you. All right, we're not going to take a plea on those particular parts of the case without having this felony addressed. I can tell you that I am very, very, very concerned about the allegations as they are outlined here in our report. Ms. McDuffie, you have thoughts on bond?
Your Honor, I understand that he sent one of those ECGs for confirmation, but I don't think that that really changes where we are, especially given this new report. I understand that he's not going to want to admit to any allegations for a pending felony case that's coming that he hasn't been arraigned on yet. But one, I would suggest ECG is not going to be sufficient for his testing, given all that. So I will request that the court order him onto SCRAMP, maybe SoberLink, actually, so that we can get those results a little bit faster. In the interim, in terms of, I'm not asking for him to be incarcerated, but I think that Mr. Weisel, whether he believes he has an issue or not, needs to be engaging in some sort of assessment and possibly treatment at this point.
Thank you. Mr. Lee?
Your Honor, I have no objection to either of those proposals.
All right, what I'm going to do is you need to be placed on the SoberLink device, sir.
What's that?
Your attorney can explain it all to you. You blow into the device so that they can monitor your alcohol drinking, and that will be twice a day.
Okay.
And then you need to complete a new substance abuse evaluation, and we'll bring you back here.
Okay. So now there's a warrant out for me for the October 1st charge.
The warrant's not out yet. It literally just got authorized this morning, a couple hours ago. So it's going to take some time for that to go through the system and for a warrant to actually issue.
Okay. So how long, when should I take care of that? That way I'm not accidentally driving and get pulled over.
Mr. Lebo, do you want me to put you in a breakout room so you can talk to your client about his next steps?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's what we'll do. And sir, we'll see you back here in this court on April the 15th at 10 o'clock a.m. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
To community corrections anytime after 11 o'clock for his SoberLink.
All right.
Say again.
You need to report to community corrections today after 11 o'clock to pick up your SoberLink.
I'm in middle of teaching classes. How late are they open to?
4:30.
What time?
4:30 p.m.
Are they open early? Like what time are they open?
Your Honor, could Mr. Weisel get 24 hours to pick up his SoberLink?
What I'm asking is just I'm in the middle of teaching class and I'm in a bind here. I mean, I'll do what I'm told.
Any thoughts on that from the prosecution or probation?
I'm just not sure how early he's trying to go and if they're open as early as he is intending to show up there.
I'm not going to get into all those details. I will give him 24 hours and he needs to work that out.
Okay. That'd be helpful, Your Honor.
All right. 24 hours. Sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.